Hello and welcome to WKMnews.com. We're here with another installment of our educational series concerning Medicare. My name is Stephan DiLorenzo and we're here joined again by Mr. Holly Roberts. He's a local insurance agent whose primary focus and concern is on Medicare. Welcome back, Holly.
Thank you, Stephan. I'm so glad to be here, and I'm really looking forward to today's episode because we're going straight to the people. We're going to deal with questions that have been sent in, and this ought to be good.
Great. Well, I'm looking forward to this as well, and we better get started because we have a lot of questions that have been sent in. So, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here's the way it will work. I've got a stack of questions sitting in front of me right here, and I'm going to read the question, and we'll help you give us an answer.
I'll do it. Okay, that sounds good.
Okay, here's the first question. This question was actually asked by quite a few people, and so that's why I'm going to read this one first.
Okay, that makes sense.
Is the cost of Medicare coverage going up in 2015, and are there any changes we need to know about for 2015?
I'm glad you started with this question because it actually affects everyone on Medicare, so this is a good one to start with. Well, here's the answer. I'm going to show you this chart. So you look at this chart, and I'm going to explain the changes. I have good news. As you can see, the amount that you pay for Part B of Medicare is not going up. 2015 will actually be the third year in a row that the Part B premium has remained the same. So it's going to stay the same at $104.90 in 2015. And as you can see, I have more good news. The Part B deductible will not change either. Remember, the Part B deductible and Part B itself is what pays for outpatient care, such as your doctor visits, your lab work, your x-rays, etc. Anyway, the Part B deductible is $147 this year, and it's going to stay at $147 in 2015. And remember, this is the amount that you pay or your Medicare supplement pays for outpatient services, and this is an annual deductible, so it starts at zero and you got to start all over again on January 1st. And finally, as you can see, the Part B coinsurance is not changing. Medicare will still pay 80% of the covered charges, and you or your Medicare supplement policy will still have to pay the remaining 20%. But there are some things that have changed, and the main one is, as you can see, the Part A deductible has increased. Remember, Part A is what pays for inpatient hospital costs. This deductible will increase from $1,216 to $1,260. So if you're admitted into the hospital, you or your Medicare supplement policy will have to pay this $1,260 deductible. And remember, this deductible is not an annual deductible. This one has to be paid each time you're admitted into the hospital, as long as at least 60 days have gone by since your last hospital admission. So there are a few changes, Stephan, but not too bad. Not too bad at all. So that was a good question.
Okay.
Thank you. What's the next one?
Well, we've got a question from a gentleman in Hanover here.
Oh, good.
And he asks, I have been on Medicare for 2 years. I have never had a prescription drug plan because I do not take any prescription drugs, and I thought it was a waste of money for me to pay for insurance that I didn't need. However, I have a feeling that I may soon need to start taking some prescription drugs. Is it too late to sign up? And if I do sign up, will I be penalized?
Well, that is a great question, and you know, I encounter many people in that same situation. They kind of hate the thought of buying and paying for insurance that they don't need, at least at the time, but isn't that really the way all insurance is? I mean, you really hate paying for it, but you want it there when you need it. So the problem is you don't know when you'll need it. And so anyway, here's the answer. I have some good news and some bad news, okay? The good news is that no, it's not too late to get a prescription drug plan. In fact, as we're filming this, it's the month of November, and we're right in the middle of open enrollment, so now's the time to do that. But the bad news is, yes, you would most likely be penalized for enrolling late. So remember, Open enrollment goes from October 15th to December the 7th. So if you do not have a drug plan and you want one, now's the time to get it. If you do have a drug plan and you want to change, now's the time to change. So anyway, if you're not sure how to figure out which plan is best for you, go back to our first episode because it totally dealt with open enrollment. So that's what I recommend you do. Now, for the second part of your question though, if you have been eligible for Medicare and have just never had a drug plan and you haven't had prescription coverage anywhere else, like through a retirement plan or through the VA or anything, chances are you're going to be assessed a late enrollment penalty. And so that's kind of bad, and it can add up, and it can be large. So anyway, I'm going to show you another screen, another slide, and I want you to look at this because this will show you exactly how that penalty is calculated. We are just using this as an example. Let's assume you've gone without a prescription drug plan for 2 years. Okay, so that's 24 months. And finally you enroll in a drug plan. Well, the formula is this. You're charged 1% of the base premium for each month you did not have coverage. So as you can see on the slide, here's the math. 24 months times 1% is 24%, okay? The base premium for 2015 is going to be $33.13. So if you multiply that, you come up with a $7.95 penalty. Well, they round up or down. So it's going to be rounded to $8. So you will end up paying an additional $8 per month forever. Not just for the first year, it's forever. So, for example, if your normal premium for that plan would be $30 a month, you would be billed $38 a month. The bottom line is this. You should seriously consider enrolling in a prescription drug plan when you first go on Medicare, even if you don't take any prescription drugs at the time, to avoid being penalized. So, Stefan, it's kind of like that old saying, pay me now or pay me later.
So then I'm just thinking about this. Is the prescription drug coverage mandatory?
Well, technically no. You're not required to enroll in a Medicare prescription drug plan. However, if and when you do enroll in one and you haven't had other prescription drug coverage, you will be assessed a penalty. And here's kind of the problem I have with that, and I'm just speaking personally, not as a professional, okay? Out of one side of their mouth, the government says, no, it's not mandatory. You don't have to enroll in a drug plan. Then the other side of their mouth, they say, but when you do, we're going to penalize you. So it's kind of like, I don't know, if it's not mandatory, why are they penalizing you, you know? So anyway, these are my thoughts, and I hope I don't get in trouble for saying them out loud, but anyway, that's just kind of the way I think, you know?
Yeah. Well, time's going pretty quick, and we got a lot more questions to get to. You ready for another one?
I'm ready. So let's do it.
Okay, here's the next one. It's from a lady who lives in Madison.
Okay.
She asks, I'm having a hard time paying for my prescriptions, even with my prescription drug plan. My plan seems fine, but with the monthly premium and all of the copays, I'm having a very hard time. Is there anything or anyone out there that can help me?
Well, you know what? I hear this statement and question over and over again too. And it kind of breaks my heart when someone on a limited fixed income has to decide whether to fill a prescription or pay for some other expense like food or utilities or something like that. And I know it's tough. So I'm glad that you chose this as one of the questions to ask, because a lot of people ask this same question. And the answer is yes. There is help available. The best and easiest way to get help is to apply for the program called Extra Help. It's run by the Social Security. Okay, and if you qualify and you're approved, it could be a wonderful blessing to you. So here's how you qualify, okay? In 2014, you can qualify if you have up to $17,505 of annual income as a single person. If you're married, it's $23,595. And they also look at your resources. That is, you can, as a single person, have up to $13,440, and as a married couple, you can have up to $26,860. And so the resources they look at are basically your bank account, your savings account, checking account, CDs, retirement accounts, stocks and bonds, things like that. But they don't look at things like your home, your cars, insurance policies, and things like that. And so to do this, though, you have to apply through Social Security. And so you have 3 ways of doing that, okay? First way is to go online. Just go to their website, socialsecurity.gov, and complete the application there. The second way you can do it is to call them and just do it by telephone. Their phone number is 1-800-772-1213. And then, of course, the third way you could do this is just to go to your local office and do it in person. Now, if you don't qualify for extra help, though, your state may have some programs that can help you pay for your drug costs. So contact Medicaid or perhaps the State Medical Assistance Program or Health Insurance Assistance Program. Remember, you can apply for extra help anytime, and you can do it as your income changes. You can do it again later on. So I just want you to know that this program called Extra Help is available, because here's why it's important. If you do qualify, it could be a huge blessing for you because of these important things right here. First, you would have low or maybe even no monthly premium for the plan. Secondly, you could have very low co-pays, even on expensive name brand drugs. Your co-pay might only be $6 or $7. Third, there's no donut hole. You've heard of that dreaded donut hole, and maybe in a future episode we'll discuss that. But if you qualify for extra help, you don't have to worry about that. And finally, we just a little while ago talked about the late enrollment penalty. If you qualify for extra help, you will not be charged that late enrollment penalty. So I really do recommend that people who have low income and few resources apply for extra help through Social Security, because it could really, really be a blessing to you.
That's just wonderful information. I'm glad that someone asked that question.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I think we have time for 1 or 2 more.
Okay.
And I've got one here. It's from someone who watched our programming online at WKMnews.com and saw one of the episodes already. They live in Milton, Kentucky, and here's the question.
Okay.
I'm a veteran and I have VA health benefits. I also have Medicare. Do they work together?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for your military service, and I appreciate all that you have given over the years in defending our country. I'm not exactly sure of the date when this program will air on television, but it could very well air on Veterans Day. So to all of you veterans out there, I want to say thank you. So now to the answer. In a nutshell, the answer is no. Medicare and VA benefits do not work together. If you get care through a VA clinic or VA medical center, Medicare doesn't pay. Likewise, if you get care through your local hospital or your local family doctor, VA doesn't pay. That's why I often recommend that people with VA coverage consider still maybe getting a Medicare supplement policy, because that way when you get your care outside of the VA system, you'll have great insurance protection. And as you know, there are a lot of veterans who really don't even live close to VA medical center, and so they may have the VA benefits, but they're not practically able to use them. So again, no, Medicare and VA benefits don't work together. So that was a great question.
Okay, well, Holly, time's flying. I think we've got time for one more question. And
okay.
Time sure flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
It sure does. And I don't know about you, Stephen, but I am having fun because this is fun for me. I love being able to help people by educating them and about Medicare, and because, see, like I've said before in each episode before, you need to understand how Medicare works, or go to someone who does, so that you can make good and wise choices for your health care coverage. So I am having fun.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And, well, here's our final question for today.
Okay.
This one comes from a gentleman who lives right here in Madison. He says, I will turn 65 in January and have already received my Medicare card. Mm-hmm. I am still employed and have health insurance through my employer, and I like it. Do I have to go on Medicare?
What a great question to end on. This is very important because there are many people who continue to work full-time even after they turn 65 years old. And so the answer is no. You do not have to go on Medicare. Now, you do need to take Part A, but you can delay or postpone taking Part B, and you wouldn't have to pay that premium that we talked about. But this is just as long as your employer's plan is creditable, which means that its coverage is as good as Medicare's coverage. So there will be instructions with your Medicare card on how to decline Part B. Basically, you'll sign the back of the card saying you decline it, and you'll mail the card back to them, okay? But now when you do finally retire, you'll have an 8-month special enrollment period where you can enroll in Part B without being penalized. So my best advice to you, if that's your situation, is to call or stop by your human resource department at work and ask them if and how Medicare works with your group insurance. Some employers actually require that you sign up for Medicare even if you do keep their group insurance. So my best advice to you is to communicate with your human resource department and play it safe. That way you'll make the right decision. So I hope this has been helpful to you. I wish I had time to answer all the questions that we've received, but we don't. So we're going to have another episode, though, and we'll take on some more questions that we've received. So be sure to check back in another week or two for our next episode.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Holly. We appreciate you sharing this information and your knowledge with our viewers. I'm sure it's been very helpful to all of them. I know I'm learning a lot for sure as well.
Well, I hope so. I hope it is helpful.
Again, if you miss any of these episodes in this program, you can go to WKMnews.com and check them out online. If you can't find them, just head to Contact Us. We'll help you find them. And you can watch this on TV 15, WKM News. Holly, how can folks reach you?
Well, if you have any questions, or if I can help you in any way with your Medicare insurance, just call me. My phone number is 812-273-4191. Again, I'm licensed in both Indiana and Kentucky, so please don't hesitate to give me a call. I'll be happy to help you.
Okay, that wraps it up for today. You're watching WKM News, Medicare information with Holly Roberts, the local expert insurance agent here. And thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm Stephen DiLorenzo.
And I'm Holly Roberts.